Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. So you're welcome for the podcast, and this podcast interview will help the students who will be definitely looking at a profession. You are currently into it. So your journey, your experience will definitely give a great value addition to their journey. And, we are trying to prepare them for the future. So I would like to introduce Mr. Deepak Batra, who is the alumni of Institute of Hotel Management, Pusa, New Delhi. Currently, he's the vice president in the hospitality operations department of the Medanta Medicity Hospital, Gurgaon. And he is, he's uh, doing a big role. He's in a role that requires a lot of responsibility. He has lots and lots of experience with patients management, overall OPD, outpatient department operations. So definitely in these trying times, I think this is something which the students would like to see as a future career, which can be really, really very, very exhausting kind of a career. And along with that, it's going to be interesting, and it will also be helping a lot of people. It's not easy going to the hospital, meeting with different departments, meeting with different people, and those things needs to be managed in a manner that nobody faces the hassle. So behind those things there are people who are working. So people or the students need to understand the profession in depth. So Mr. Batra, if you could just give us a little introduction about yourself and your journey, how you chose this career, and what were the challenges that you faced initially?
Right, ma'am. First of all, ma'am, good afternoon again, and thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast. It's actually an honor and my pleasure to participate in this activity, and especially because both my sons are studying in Shri Ram. So it is also, I'm personally very happy that I could participate and maybe share a few of my experiences and guide the future students in the career path to hospitality or even healthcare.
Yes.
Let me just begin with my background.
Yes.
I did my high school from Modern School, Barakhamba Road, New Delhi.
Okay.
I was actually a boarder there. I was staying in the boarding house, and then I was pursuing my. I had PCM, the science subjects. So I had physics, chemistry, maths, and computer science and English as my main subjects.
Okay.
And our times, during that time, we didn't have too many options actually. There was no internet when we were in our 12th class. So your computer sciences, although I had a computer science as a subject, but that didn't have any internet that we were studying. So it was very basic languages we used to have during our time. Pascal, COBOL. You guys might not have, the current crop might not have even heard about them. And database and all. So those were the times when we did our high school, and that time the most sought after professions were engineering and medical. And psychology as a major, or even hotel management, or even computer science was preferred, but it was still not much into so much demand, because the dot-com bubble had not been launched. Bubble came later, but busted yesterday. But the dot-com craze was not there.
Yes.
So I also was pursuing my and preparing for my engineering, and I did get through in a couple of engineering colleges, but was not the preferred choice. I had actually got through in naval engineering, so it was Indian Navy, and I had cleared there even short SSB also, which is basically a physical test and a psychometric test. But unfortunately, I could not join because of my eyesight. I used to have power, and although it was within the range, I still could not clear the medicals. And then simultaneously had got through in many Delhi University colleges. I might share, I actually that was the highest grade I've got in my entire.
So just wanted to understand what exactly you do. Can you share what job entails? What does a typical day look like in your job? Like that can give a little idea to the
Absolutely,
students.
Ma'am. So as you have introduced myself, I am Vice President Hospitality Operations. So I'm looking after various hospitality functions at the hospital. My
Right.
core background and expertise is in food and beverage. So before joining Vedanta, I worked in hotels for 16 years, out of which 13 years was abroad in Dubai.
Okay.
And then F&B was my my core expertise. And then I had joined Vedanta as general manager food and beverage, where I managed the food and beverage operations for the hospital chain for many years. And now, since 2 years, I'm also looking after non-F&B areas, which include OPD, which is outpatient department, patient services. So overall patient experience in the OPD area.
Right.
And also the preventive health check and wellness center, where our normal healthy patients come for their annual or periodic health checkups, basically, and basically to check as a precautionary measure, before they become patient otherwise.
Right. The preventive health checkups.
Mainly front of the house operations, which covers the patient experience, patient expectations, guiding the patients, and facilitating their entire stay while they are visiting Vedanta in OPDs.
Right. So what does a typical day look like in your job?
So, ma'am, compared to hotels, it's definitely much better balanced, I would say. I have to compare here, ma'am. Sorry. So, as I mentioned, I worked 16 years in hotels, where I don't know whether the students know, it's very tough and long hours, working hours. So, in a hotel, I used to generally start at 8 in the morning and literally come back at midnight. So it was 15 to 16 hours, and that's at least 16 years of my career. So I've never worked less than 12 hours in my career while in hotels.
Right.
So that's why I need to.
So now it is a little balanced, you would say?
It is, ma'am. So now it's more or less 9. I start at 9 and I'm leaving by 6:30 p.m.
Oh,
more or less. So it's 9.5, 10 hours maximum. Unless it's required, I stay for 12 hours now also. But it's not as much as hotels, because hotels are definitely very laborious and very long hours. And yes, but they teach you. My foundation, whatever I've learned is from my hotels background. And so that's what I'm using, and using the hospitality and empathy and care that I and the skill set that I learned and developed in my hotels. I'm using them here at the Vedanta.
Great. So what are the challenges? Sorry, you can continue. I mean, I just thought you have. Yeah, you can continue.
It's okay, ma'am. Please, we can carry on the next question. I'll add in later.
What are the challenges you normally face? Because right now it's the hospitals are the busiest place, I would say, that people visit. So what are the challenges that you have faced?
Apart from the most challenging last 2 years, where we had both on professional front, have faced challenges to keep our staff motivated and working in tough and difficult working conditions, where even we were falling sick, and we were also falling down to COVID. And apart from that, I would say it's keeping the staff motivated in the current scenario. And apart from that, also imbibing the hospitality virtues and empathy in the staff, so that all the interactions that they have with the patient are you basically treat them as your family member, and you feel that the patients who are coming to you they're not coming mainly because of their choice. They're coming because they are not well. They don't have a choice. That's why they're here. So that's the biggest challenge you face in a hospital compared to a hotel. In a hotel, people visit for pleasure. They come because they want to have a good time. Here, the people who are coming to you are the ones who are in need, who are not well. And they need more emotional support. They need better, empathy, and better, hospitality in the interactions that the staff need to provide. So the biggest challenge is to incorporate these virtues, the hospitality and empathy virtues, in the staff who are not trained from hospitality school, or see, majority of our workforce is very diverse.
Right.
I would say
Absolutely.
80% of our workforce in hospitals is from clinical background,
Absolutely.
which will
Yes.
be either doctors or nurses.
Yeah.
Nurses form the biggest, and they've never been to any hospitality school. They've
Right.
never worked in a customer care or customer handling environment.
Right.
For them, it's purely medical care, purely looking after treating the patient. So
Right.
the biggest challenge is to ensure that the patient gets a very good, warm, and courteous and hospitable experience, and that to be delivered by the people who are not trained hoteliers or hospitality professionals.
Right.
So that's one thing that we find it very challenging. And also the profile of the patients or the customers who are coming in hotels, generally you will find, especially in 5-star, you'll be coming people who are refined, who are well traveled, who are well behaved, well spoken.
Yes.
Whereas in hospitals you get all of people.
Kinds.
I would say 80% of the people we get in our hospital are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So their lifestyle, their cultures, and all are different.
Yeah.
So to manage an operations with the people who are not from hospitality background, and delivering the care and service that we aspire and we try our best to do, is the biggest challenge that we find in a healthcare setup, and especially for me, from a hospitality background, ma'am.
Right. So five most important skills that you think is crucial in your work area.
Ma'am, the 5 most important things, first of all, will be a positive attitude and can-do attitude. So you should never doubt or be constrained by the limitations and the lack of support or resources. You have to make things happen. You have to find your way. And I would say you have to be a go-getter and can-do person. Then only you can, be successful.
Right.
The first one is that can-do and positive attitude. Second is leadership. So you have to lead by example. If you yourself cannot prove what you're trying to or demonstrate what you're trying to tell your subordinates, you will not be able to inspire them to deliver the services you are expecting them to. So that's number 2. Number 3 would be team spirit. So again, as I said, we have in Medanta almost 8,000 staff.
Right.
And to basically, so interdepartmental team spirit with intra-department team spirit is something that is very much needed to deliver a high quality care that our patients require and demand and deserve. And fourth point would be looking for solutions. Focus on your areas of influence, not areas of concern. Problems will be there, so don't get bogged down by the problem. Look at the areas where you can make a change or make a difference. So look at working solutions. So problem solving is another point.
Right. So, sir, if you could give us a little highlight about future developments in this particular profession. Yes.
Absolutely, ma'am. As you must have heard a cliche, healthcare is a recession-proof industry, which I would say wasn't the case in the first wave. We also saw our occupancies dropping to 25%. So there was a huge panic and fear, and where patients were avoiding visiting the hospitals.
Absolutely.
So that they don't contract, COVID. So it was only the emergency cases who were coming. But then later on, once we had and COVID was something very new. Nobody had experienced it, including us, even our doctors. So later on, once people get used to and comfortable and started living with COVID, the business is back now, and we are doing as good as we were doing pre-COVID days. And definitely the future is there, ma'am, in the sense India is one country where the demand of hospitals and doctors and nursing care is definitely going to grow. I think the ratio of doctors to the population is still amongst the lowest in the world. So there's a huge potential to grow. And if the hospitals grow, definitely all the departments, including hospitality and other administrative jobs also. They are bound to grow.
Right.
And now a good thing is, now since people have lost, are no longer that apprehensive or scared of COVID, the patients are now still coming. Definitely we are taking all the precautions that are needed. So definitely the future is very much there.
Absolutely.
In healthcare.
Absolutely. So just taking you a little, to your past, just to understand, how have your hobbies or passions supported you in this journey?
Okay, ma'am. As I said, ma'am, I was aspiring to be an engineer.
Yes.
But yes, at the same time, in my heart, as I told, I was staying in modern school, Barakhamba Road, boarding.
Right.
I used to see every day Hotel Crown Plaza. It's Lalit now. Our times it was Crown Plaza or Holiday Inn Crown Plaza that time. Now it's the Lalit Connaught Place. So that used to be visible from our hostel. So I always used to be fascinated towards that building and, towards the lifestyle and, luxury and glamour associated. Right. Although I never thought I will land into hotel industry or even do hotel management. But by coincidence, maybe in my subconscious, I always had, that that kind of aspiration, a dream that, okay, this is not a bad career. I can still explore it. Right. So once my medicals failed in naval engineering, so I simultaneously, my father had asked me to give it a try also. And I got through hotel management, and that too in the best institute or the flagship institute, which is IHM Pusa, which is New Delhi Institute of Hotel Management. And that time I still, wasn't 100% sure if that although I always was attracted towards the lifestyle and, the glamour and everything, I Absolutely. Still had this desire in my heart. Okay, I still need to, pursue a career which I was studying for, which was engineering. But that time my father, contrary to anybody else, he encouraged me to take hotel management. It wasn't me. My father guided me to take hotel management. And because of him that I went into this field and, and that's where I am.
So did you have any hobby which was like, which I would say?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. So I was always good in sports. I was into football, soccer, and table tennis. And also I used to love traveling, although I didn't get too many opportunities, but whenever I did, I really used to enjoy traveling. And this is something that really attracted me towards this industry. And the reason I'm telling sports, because of football and all, it helped me take those 15 hours, ma'am. I have always maintained fitness regime. I've always kept myself, despite of 15 hours a day, I was still exercising an hour, even in hotels. So this is something that keeps me pulling and taking the long hours and grueling work.
Also, I feel it also brings in a lot of discipline in a person. So generally, sports and industry is something which brings in a lot of discipline in a person's life. And also hospitality is a kind of a profession where you need to be disciplined, where you need to be punctual.
100%, so, it's an alternative. The reason I also fitted so well is because, as I said, I had applied for naval engineering. I cleared the SSB. So I had these attributes and, the basic fundamentals that are required. And hotels also are as good as similar to military or our defense forces in terms of discipline. It's like the training we go through is like a boot camp.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
When I was doing my industrial training, I used to chop 30 kilos of onions every day. I used to work 20 hours of shift without sleeping. 24 hours also I've done. So it's as tough and grueling as army. So maybe my personality suited both the fields. That's why, I think I fitted well in hospitality also.
Yes. So, Mr. Batra, just would like to wrap up. I think this session was excellent. I mean, I got a lot of insight about the profession because we hardly get to know people behind that whole lot of, a big unit of doctors and nurses who are, a part of such big hospitals. We just meet them. We don't know the people behind who are making these things run smoothly. So I think it was great talking to you. And
thank you, Vash,
I think your information, the kind of experiences that you have shared will be very useful to the students. And with passing years, I could see lots and lots of students of our generation, of generations coming next. Even the kids who are right now in the middle school, they would be looking at something like hospitality management. It's growing.
Yeah. Absolutely, ma'am. And I would highly recommend this field to the people who are really passionate about it.
Yes.
If you have any certain doubt, do not join this industry, because the people dropout ratio is more than 90%.
Absolutely.
If you ask me today, I don't even have 10% of my batchmates pursuing hotels profession.
Right.
So only people who have the passion, who really want to meet people, who want to really be very hands-on and enjoy the kind of lifestyle you get with hotels. So it is a good work culture. It's a very good discipline. You're working with refined people, working with very polished people. You see very nice guests coming to you. So yes, but you need to have a passion to take and pursue this career in long term.
I would have loved to have more and more discussion, but we have shortage of time. So I think we'll meet again in case we need more information from you.
Anytime,
if we have more
it will
students.
be my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Batra.
And thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast, ma'am. I wish
our
all
pleasure.
the Shriram students the best of luck in choosing the right career. And please take a very careful and thought after decision, ma'am.
Absolutely. 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 Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a nice day, sir.